People always ask me, how do I spend my weekends? Well, this weekend, I needed to clean my office. Just because it's been getting a little bit messier than usual. So today, let's clean up this mess and see what I'm working on. My place has been looking a little bit messy lately, so I figured I'd take some time today to fix that problem. I just came back recently from a getaway, and my gear is just everywhere. Like, I know I should be coding my next projects, but I think I've been putting it off for too long. One of the main reasons that I wanted to clean up this weekend is because I can't seem to find things that I previously placed elsewhere. I mean, I have tiny parts just laying each places, but sometimes I feel just peace of mind comes to me if I can just know exactly where I put things. Like my cat's laser toy that I haven't seen in ages now. Sprout is obsessed with this thing and will not stop bothering me until she is exhausted. She's a playful one. The office also doubles as a storage because Brenda loves to crochet. So sometimes I have to do some Tetris magic. That means pulling things out and then ideally putting things back in so that I get more table space. So I have to do a bit of reorganization. I feel like over time I've just placed things as I've gone, but there's a lot of things that I just put one place and never touch again. So yeah, it's nice having a little bit more of clean space around the office. More places to play. The one thing about Sydney is that it's been getting a little bit chillier. So finding my gloves after losing them for so long will help me stay nice and toasty. And the one thing I really love about these gloves is that I can still use my phone and play around with a touchscreen. Japan, I got the good stuff. I would honestly describe my level of organization as orderly chaos. Just because there are things that I know I have too much of, but I feel that I definitely use a lot, especially when it comes to content creation. But I just need to find ways and buckets of places so I can put them and find them again in the future. Now that I've cleaned most of my tabletops, I think it's time to refresh the smaller parts of this room. So that means I'm gonna need some machinery for this one. So things are put away for the most part. The floors are relatively clean, though there's still this box in the corner that I've been keeping for that one special day. This BenQ monitor. If you watched some of my previous videos from last year, I was sponsored by BenQ. An amazing opportunity, and he sent me this awesome monitor for me to test out and show to you guys. And I made the promise that if I reached 10,000 subscribers this year, that I would do a giveaway of this monitor. Ideally, I'd love to give it to somebody that's in university or just starting out early in their career. Pretty much $1,000 monitor, so I'd love for it to be put to good use. I already have my own setup, so I don't need to worry about this. So when that day comes and we hit that milestone, I hope you let me know who you are, tell your story in the comments, and whether it's for something creative or you're building for your next project, I'd love to support your journey as well. But in the meantime, it'll be staying in that corner, mostly because I don't have much storage space left. If you've had the chance to watch some of my shorts, we got some Smiskies. It's our somewhat first time having Smiskies. We had one before, but we caved into the trend of everyone getting these little green guys. I was super happy when we got this guy that's on the computer. He looks so cool. And we got a bunch of other ones from the different series. We got one that plays guitar, one with a cat. Like, how coincidental is that? Someone that's reaching for the stars. I know, in reality it's a yoga pose.
We actually already have one, and it's been sitting on this frame over there in the hallway. Just a little guy reading a book, but that gave us the idea of putting these little guys all around our picture frames. And of course, just a little out of reach for our little guy over there. She has a knack for trying to reach things. Brenda and I have accumulated quite the art collection. Every time we go to art markets, we manage to find something that we really like. And we're trying to go for this crescent type shape on the wall. It might change. It might go from here to this weird squiggle up there. I know, right? It's pretty creative. We tried to match the colors and the theme of it so that it seems like light is coming from the window, so more brighter pieces of art come from the top, and gradually it gets more to the darker pieces, which correlate with the nighttime art pieces. And you'll notice that there's a lot of cats, for obvious reasons. So I think we could spread out the Smiskies along these portraits to make it a little bit more three-dimensional. You might notice also this big art frame in the middle. I've kept this for a couple years now and didn't get to hang it up until I actually moved into this place. But this art frame came from my old roommate. Shout out to Antoine. He was one of my exchange roommates and was from France. And the one thing he told me the day before he left was he didn't have enough carry-on to fit it into his luggage. Thank you, Antoine. So Brenda told me to blue tack some of the pieces together, and Sprout, my cat, is likely gonna knock some of these over at some point. So I'd rather not lose some of the pieces. So the ones with like dual attachments, we gotta stick them together. Just gonna smush it down a little bit and take this guy's head and smush.
That's one down.
That's good enough.
All I need to do now is do the other one that has the kid, and then we can get started on hanging these little guys up on the wall. I had to think of a balance between keeping them high enough so they're out of reach, but also low enough so we can actually see them as well. For the most part, it was just gut instinct based upon the Smiskies design and where they actually logically fit within an environment. Again, they're just meant to give a bit of three-dimensionality to the space. And if they fit the scenario of the space, then all the better. I just wanted to make sure that the cat one went on top of Sprout's image and the computer one right on top of the office.
So now that all the cleaning and decorating is all done, I can now get back to the fun stuff. I told you recently that I went on a trip with my friends to Voi Voi, and I did film a little bit of it. I'm thinking about making just a quick short. I've been making a lot of short form content, just on things that I found super cool or capturing certain moments. And while I was in Voi Voi, I was able to film a bit of our hike that we did there. Got to see this beach with all these different pieces of driftwood, and it was a bit of a gloomy, rainy day, but there were some glimmers of sunlight that peeked throughout. Safe to say, we needed some more sleep. If you're interested in how I edit these shorts, essentially I edit them in Premiere Pro. I have a bit of a template going on to make things a little bit easier. I've standardized doing the captions, and then all I need to do is just find a really cool song and drop all the clips onto the timeline. Pretty short and sweet. For music specifically, I like using Epidemic Sound and MusicBed. I find that Epidemic Sound has really good music if you want to just grab a certain type of sound. So for example, like drums or just like the melody, whereas MusicBed has more catchier songs. So it's a bit of a trade-off versus if you want actual lyrics or do you just want the instrumental. So yeah, I'm pretty much going to edit this short for maybe like an hour. Shouldn't take too long. And then I can get back to building cool projects. If you've watched one of my previous vlogs, I've been really trying to get into using AI more, mostly because I think it helps with productivity and learning if you're using it the right way. I'm a software engineer by day, and I love building side projects. There's a side project that I'm working on in the background, and AI has made building that project way more easier. So recently I've been super into just trying to build a side project and trying to get it to launch. I've had tons of ideas, but I've never been able to get to that final finish line. One of my goals for the next few months is to be able to launch something that I personally would use and hopefully others would use as well. But recently I've been experimenting and dabbling with Anthropic's Claude. I've used their chat function before, but they released this terminal version of their AI, which you can just drop into any project and then you can just scan all the files and instantly understand what are the different interactions and different files that you have in your project. So I've been trying to use a bit of a combination of the two. And the one area that I specifically want to tackle and build a cool project for is for content creators. I know I've spent hours, days, weeks, even just editing YouTube videos and repeating monotonous tasks, especially in Premiere Pro, when I feel like a lot of the stuff could be automated. Next few weeks, months, I really need to find a solution to this problem. And if you have any ideas, feel free to let me know, because yeah, I'll be trying to incorporate something into a solution so I can eventually let you guys test trial yourself as well. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me on this vlog. I might go to the gym, maybe after I build this feature, but hey, I'll catch you guys in the next one.